Hi everyone and welcome to Power Plays. I'm Harry and today I'm going to be giving you my top tips to get all 3 stars on all 3 campuses of the brand new medical school DLC. So make sure you watch this all the way to the end so you can know exactly how to smash through all the levels. The difficulty is, it's not easy, this DLC, so you're going to want to stay tuned, especially for the 3rd campus right at the very end. Now, do make sure you subscribe to the channel and like the videos, because if a video gets 50 likes in the playlist, then I'm going to be giving away a free copy of the game. Now, you need to subscribe, because you need to know when I'm streaming, because that's where I'm giving away the DLC. So make sure you do all that, and comment down below, what are your tips for this DLC? Let's kind of build a bit of resource together, and I'm going to start with the first level, Lake Tumble. Now, there are no classes in this DLC. However, students do essentially learn on the job during treatment. Now, treatment, you don't get loads of money, you can't really adjust the prices, so it's not like you're raking in loads of money from it, but you are getting some bits of money from it. So it does make it a bit easier, because you don't have to worry about students, rushing off to class here, rushing off to class there, etc, etc. And you can see, we are getting bits of money as we're treating patients, as we're curing them. Now, I found it fairly easy to get pretty high grades, and you can see I've got fairly good levels here, and I'm not like getting massive on the learning rate. I'm also not fussed about the student intake, because I don't have to worry about class sizes. So off we go. Like you can see here, yes, this can take 8 capacity, but you end up having so many treatment rooms that it doesn't really matter too much. So that is one. You don't really have to abide by the very strict 8x8 rule. Now, you get emergencies in this hospital, campus, medical school. You get emergencies. Now, if you've got fairly decent sized queues, you're gonna have to manually, click on some of these and just make sure that they're being moved around in the queue. You don't want them to be sat, if you've got an emergency, sat all the way at the back, because then you're not going to get the money from passing the emergency. And for this level specifically, you do need to get a certain number of emergencies in order to get through the stars. So make sure you're bumping people up the queues. Make sure you've got a decent amount of treatment rooms. So you can see here I've got 2 wards, 2 deluxe clinics, or head clinics it's called here, and 2 psychiatries. You don't need that many more. In terms of staff, I've got a decent amount of staff. Now, you don't need this many, but doctors. So really, you should need 4 doctors. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I've got 9. I've also got a private tuition room. Sorry, I've got 2 more over here as well. That makes more sense. 1, 2. I was thinking, how many have I got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and a 7 there. So 9 isn't too bad. I could probably skim another one, because remember, these aren't classes in terms of you'll have, say, a block here, and then the teacher will go rest. This is constant. Patients are coming in, so you need to have more staff than you would usually. So that's definitely something you need to keep an eye on. Is you can't just run with the very minimum number of staff. You need to make sure that you've got enough rooms, because otherwise you're just going to get massive queues. Emergency patients, you do want to, here, for example, I say yes to this emergency. We're going to get patients come through here at some point. Ooh, this is a bit chaos. Patients come through, and you'll see that they will be behind on the queue, just like you would in an emergency in 2-point hospital. You bump these people up the queue, and you can see for this emergency, I need to queue a 5 out of 10, which is fairly easy. You should be doing it. Now, medical and pastoral, it's not something I had on this level. You can see I had the 1 case here, but it is not often that happens. So you can get away with not having those on the hospital if you don't want. And you can see here we've got a nice little chance of success in there as well. But yeah, they're going to they're going to go straight in because we've got quite a big ward. I'd recommend having a decent sized ward, especially if you're taking emergencies in the ward, because that way these people are pretty much slowly, but they're waltzing right in. Boneless thighs, that's why they're gingerly walking. Got a bit of a bottleneck on that corridor there. But yeah, those are my tips for level 1 and or campus 1, the first campus. And you know, they start you off slowly. They do start you off slowly. The next level is very like overgrowth. Molten Rock. You've got a volcano that you have to do challenges with, or the volcano does not get happy with you. You've got pirates that you want to compete against, and you've got lots of challenges you want to do for plots. Now, you can only do 3 plots at a time, and you need the extra space. So you need to really plan ahead about what you want to do. I recommend having, you know, at least 1, maybe 2 kind of long-term objectives or long-term plots just to have in the back burner, because you do have some plots that require, say, 100, you know, cure 100 people, treat 150 people, train 20 staff. You know, these aren't things that just happen overnight. You know, they are things that are going to take a bit of time, so you want to make sure are getting done. Things like, you know, unlock the helipad. You know, you just do a research and then you place it. You don't actually have to click on that request before you do the task. You can just do the task, wait till you've got a free slot on the request, and then just click it and just go, yeah, cool, let's get that one done. There are also other things like that, like 5 level 8 students. Again, you don't have to have it running at the time for you to accomplish it. However, things like train 20 staff, if you're training staff without having that ticked, then it doesn't matter. You've got to get that done. Otherwise, there's literally, well, you've got to have it ticked or it doesn't count. It's as simple as that. So, you know, you want to have some long-term requests, especially if you're going to start training staff. Now, you do get these little, well, when I say little, there's quite a lot of them. You can see we have 10 patients. They're all coming here, and essentially it's us versus the pirates. It's us versus the pirates, and we want to beat the pirates because we get a bit of money from it. Usually about 25k. So make sure that you're kind of bumping people in the queue when necessary. It's really annoying that not more of them are coming to this one, but hopefully some of them are just going to skirt off. Let me just start this. Yay, awards. So yeah, make sure that you're prioritizing some of these challenges here, because you're going to get a decent amount of money from it, and you need money, surprisingly. There are other plot challenges that, you know, I'd recommend you do right at the very end. Like, for example, there is one which is 10 B+ graduates. There are 20 A graduates. There are a certain number of 50 A+ graduates. Now, there's no point selecting these right at the start of the year. I'd definitely do it right at the end, so you just quickly get rid of them. The 50 A+ graduates, unless you've got a big campus, you can see if I do course management, you know, I've got 111 students coming next year, so I should be able to, yeah, I should be able to get these ticked off all in one go, or, you know, maybe after a couple of years. Now, I would take time just having a look at all the plots and just having a think about what sort of order you want to do things on. There are definitely ones that you can do like straight away. Like, I started the year off with 30 students. It did mean that I was a bit struggling for cash, but it meant I got that one ticked off straight away in year 1. Now, you can wait to have that one done in year 2, but I wanted to just, you know, get that extra space as soon as possible. There are things like get a 85% attractiveness, which is a lot easier to do when your hospital's smaller. You can get 85% happiness levels, which again is a lot easier to do when you've not got that many students, because you can micromanage it a bit more. Things like, what else can you do that is really quick? 5 level 8 students, you'll be able to do that in maybe year 1, the start of year 2. you should be able to do that fairly quick. The 10 B+ graduates, again, really quick. So, there are quite a few ones you can get smashed out right at the very start. But I would definitely just take a look at them all and kind of map your way out, because, there are some ones that take a bit longer. One which I was pleasantly surprised to see is... see, look, I believe we're going to do this one, which means we're going to get... Are we? I didn't see if we completed it or not. When you complete them, yeah, there you go. Have a look around. You get some treasure, and that's going to give you some much needed booty. The gold. 25k. So it's pretty good. One thing to note is that the train 5 teachers to level 7, you can just get a level 6 teacher. If you've got the course high enough, you can just grab a level 6 teacher, if I had one, but let's say a level 4 here, and train them twice, and then you'll be fine. You don't have to go all the way to the level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, which you do for one of the achievements. Not in this DLC, but just in the game in general. And finally, we have Pointy Pass. Pointy Pass is tough, and it takes a while. And because it takes a while, it also makes it more tough. Let me get into it. If you remember Duckworth, everyone's favourite 2-point hospital level, probably one of the most requested tip level that I get. You don't get cash from tuition fees, you don't get normal levels of cash. So you can see here, rent 0, XP bonus 0, tuition fees 0. What you do get though is money from treatment. So you can see we're getting bits here and there. You can't put up the prices though. How many awards do I get? Hey, not too bad. You don't get money through treatment. So, well, sorry, you do get money through treatment. You can't put your prices up. What you do get money from though is these events here. Now, with these events, and I mean, technically you can also get money through research projects too, but you need to be really quick about deciding which ones are you going to do and what are you going to focus on. I find the student attend events one is quite easy to do, because as you can see here, I just have events all year long. Yes, that costs money, but it's money that comes out right at the very start of the year, and I'm not too fussed about it. It is fairly easy to sort out in the end. You do have to be really careful with money management. So you can see quite a lot in some of these levels. I will be buying and selling things quite regularly just to stay control of that cash flow. I'm on my loans quite a lot, and say for example, I might say take out a 100k loan in order to help pay off the 250k loan, so that I can then retake the 250k loan and then I'll pay it back off the 100. What it ends up doing is that you just end up having a bit more cash. So definitely make use of those loans and definitely play around with them a bit, because you're gonna need that money. I often as well, I'll invest in items. It's a bit of a strategy that I have, where if I just have some high ticket items, so like this 50k, I know that I can sell them instantly, and that's 100k right there. Whereas if say you have 100k, well, not 100k just sat in the bank, but you quite often won't have all the money in there. So I just like to just invest in some of these items, and then just if I'm looking around, I can sell this room and get it, fine. So I know I haven't been here, but do be really quick on deciding, am I going to do these events, yes or no? Because if you're not going to do them, or you don't have the facilities to do them, or you think they're taking a bit long, you need to get rid of them as soon as possible. Because if I look at wrong thing, but if I say look at finances, you can see that we have a lot of expenses. So if you see here, we need to make 1.2 million, right, every year from expenses. So, not great. You can see 0 from tuition. If we have a look, you can see we're getting all our money from challenges and objectives. Yes, we are getting some treatment money, but it's not really doing that much. So you do need to make sure that you're looking at these. So like, develop 3 new romances. That's going to take too much time. I'm going to get rid of it. Things like this is going to be quicker. Develop best friend relationships. No, see you later. I'm looking at things like cure X amount of patients, treat X amount of patients. Student attend events. Fine. That one's not too hard to do, especially when you have so many events. I could make it easier by adding an extra one of these rooms as well. You know, it's fairly straightforward. You're just going to have a little think. And these are great when sometimes you get ones that stack. Things like upgrading items, you know, they're fine as long as you have the money. Now, this level, you do need medical rooms because there are quite a few snowstorms, which causes brain freezes, which means your students are like this, and then they get really unhappy if you don't sort it out. So, do have medical rooms. I have 3 here, and you can see that there is a bit of a queue on them. It's not always a queue, and like one of the reasons why I've got this queue right now is because I didn't wait during the summer period. You should always wait during the summer period and let your kind of students recuperate, but let your students essentially sort out all the medical issues. Research projects. Now you get these research projects, and as you can see, it gives a 20% boost to treatment power. Now you need to get an 85% cure rate in surgery at the end. So you need lots of random items dotted around, which is what I've just done to essentially just try and boost my cure rate for a final push at the end. But you know, you can see we need these essentially extra items and these research projects in order to boost our cure rates. 85% in surgery is no joke. No joke at all. You're going to want to train your staff a lot. So you can see I actually do have staff training, and you can see this is my research one, so I didn't train that, but you can see level 6, pretty much all my doctors. There we go, another level 6 in, which is the max I can do right now, because you're going to need that for your surgery. 85%. It's going to be a slog. And the hardest thing about this level is the fact that it takes time. And because it takes time, you've got to continually do these objectives. So you can see I've only got 55k. That's not that much money. And you know, sometimes if you're not doing these challenges and you're not sorting them out quick enough, then you're going to be in debt. Like at the end of this month, I'm going to go in debt, and I'm 10 years in. You know, usually you've got millions in the bank by now. But you can see it's gonna happen fairly soon. Oh, well, I mean, I did a challenge. So maybe I'm not going to be in debt, but here, yeah, there we go. In debt. So you need to make sure that you're staying on top of that, because otherwise you're going to be in trouble. I'm trying to see, have we got a snowstorm apparently. I'm trying to see if we've got anyone waiting for psychiatry, because it would be nice. No. Oh, you. No, that's injection room. There are some really cool new students. Anyway, you want to make sure you're doing your research projects. You want to make sure that you're staying on top of these. You see, getting that extra bit of cash in, really helpful. If one's taking a bit too long, like, you know, this one I might have got rid of because it is taking a decent amount of time. Because if you don't, you're going to be in debt really quickly. You're going to be bouncing around in money a lot. You're going to need multiple surgeries. You know, this hospital does require quite a lot of rooms. I've got 4 surgeries here. I think 2 or 3 injection rooms, 3 injection rooms, 2 psychiatries, and 2 thumping therapies. But yeah, this is my final build. Oh, 5 surgeries. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 surgeries. That's my final build. And yeah, my top tip for this one is just more money. Is make sure you're staying on top of your challenges. Getting rid of one. So like this one, 3 personal goals. It's going to take. Well, I've got 3 here. So you know, if I've got a couple stacked up, yeah, let's just do them really quickly, get them out of the way. But if I don't want to do them, or I don't have any stacked up, get rid of it. That's one you should definitely be getting rid of really quickly. So those are my top tips for all 3 levels. I hope they help you out. I had a really good time playing this game. If you want to see me experience it for the first time and do my playthroughs, they're not perfect, but do check out the rest of the videos on this playlist. Subscribe to the channel so you know exactly when I'm streaming next. You get notified about more content. But the reason why you want to know why I'm streaming next is that, as I said, if you do get this video to 50 likes, I am going to give away a free copy of the DLC live on stream. So make sure you subscribe to the channel, get those video likes in, and comment down below, what hospital do you think is going to be the hardest? Hospital? Campus? Not quite sure what we're calling them, but which one do you think is going to be the hardest? Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next episode. Bye for now.